Hey everyone, TESLATOM here. Thanks for joining us this morning on day 2 of our Audi e-tron vlog. We're doing a sunrise photo shoot here with Andy from AAIPP Photography, and then we're going to go for a drive with the e-tron and document more of its features, all that and much more right after this. Okay everyone, let's go through the Audi e-tron 55 Quattro Sportback today, all-electric SUV from Audi. So let's start with the front of the car, and I'm going to open the Frunk to start with, or the front boot. So to do that, unfortunately, you've actually got to open it from the car itself. So there's a latch here which I'll show you in a second, but essentially it pops it like a regular bonnet in an ICE car. A bit old school down here, you've got to lift it up a little bit and then find the latch. And then up it goes. It's hydraulic, so it'll stay up, which is nice. Hopefully with an EV, the only thing you'll ever have to maintain is the washer fluid. There's a little filter in there. I guess that's good. But it would have been nice if they covered all this up so it looks a bit more quote-unquote EV. Anyway, let's have a look at this little cubby here, which unfortunately looks a little bit plastic, very flimsy, but does stay up by itself, which is good. It's a bit shallow, unfortunately, as well. Inside, Audi have supplied a home charging kit. It's got a nice e-tron and Audi badging on there. There is a 3-phase plug already attached to it. There's also a home tail as well, a 10 amp home tail. Now this, I'll show you how to take this out. Now, I've got to thank my wife Joy for working this out, because I couldn't work this out, but you actually have to lift this up a little bit, pull it out halfway, drop it down a bit again, and then just wiggle it out. Still struggling. See, and the tail comes out like that, and then you can switch over to the 10 amp tail. To do that, lift up the latch, push it in halfway, and then, oh man, struggling here. There we go. Then the latch goes down. So that's to swap between the 3-phase and the home tail. Fortunately for us Tesla owners, it's easy enough to just pull the tail out. So Audi, if you're listening, I think that's something you need to work out with your over-engineered home charging kit. All right, I'm going to close the bonnet now, and it's just a close, and then it just shuts by itself. I guess I could have just let it slam, and it would have done the same job. Next thing I want to show you is the front lights. So front LED lights. And then there's a little wind tunnel thing there. There's a grille at the front, which I don't really understand why that's necessary if the battery's on the floor and the powertrain is deep inside the car, but maybe it's a remnant from the fossil equivalent. And speaking of fossil equivalent, I think this, without knowing too much about Audis in general, because I'm not an Audi driver, just from what I've seen on the road, it looks like a Q5 or Q7, maybe somewhere in between. So yeah, that's the size of this car. Let's have a look at the side here. Nice e-tron badging there with the yellow, matching the yellow brake calipers down here, which I'll show you in a sec with the wheels. But to open a charging port, which there are 2 by the way, so this is the driver's side, our right side. It's a motorized opening, and I think only Audi and Tesla currently have that, a motorized charge port. So on this side there is a Type 2 charger, and then you flick it open, and that's a CCS2, so which is good. I think, you know, I don't mind that being covered, but I'd be annoyed if that was covered as well. Like in other EVs, you've got to keep opening it every time you charge at home, because you don't often supercharge or, you know, fast charge, so that's not a bad thing to have that covered. I quite like that. And there are different displays here, which we'll go through when we do a charging video a bit later on. And then to close it, just press that again, and there you go. All right, so let's have a look down here at the wheels since we're here, and let's have a look what they've got installed here. Nice rims, the Audi badging there. Audi just feels nice, feels luxurious, I've got to say. A bit old world that way. They've got on Continentals. And what have we got here? We've got 265s, 45Rs, 21. So it's a 21-inch wheel and tyre. the nice yellow calipers to match the e-tron, like I said. Now, of course, what stands out is with the Audi e-tron, and it's, I guess, its signature for now, is the side cameras replacing the mirrors. So one thing that my son ever noticed is that when you've got other cars next to you, they can no longer see you from the side mirror. So in other cars you can see the driver as you pull up next to them, as you see the side mirror, but now it's a camera. You can't actually see the driver, so I guess it's an extra level of privacy. There's a camera there, and also there's a camera underneath that I can see as well. And I guess that's for the the parking sensors as well. All right, so let's keep walking around the car. And Joy, if you stand over here, I'll just show the viewers. This is the Sportback edition, so it's got that aerodynamic look to it. The other SUV, Quattro, has got more of an SUV bum, a bit more square, but I personally like this aerodynamic Sportback look. If I were to buy this, I would probably get this version, but unfortunately it is more expensive as well. And I believe this car starts, drive-away price for this car is $170,000 in New South Wales. So it is pricey, keep that in mind. All right, so let's have a look at the back. Some more nice badging here, 55 Quattro. The Quattro refers to all-wheel drive, and the 55 refers to the battery size. A little bit confusing. 55 is the 90 kilowatt hour version. I believe there'll be a 50 with a 75 kilowatt hour version as well. And there's some more e-tron badging there, which is quite nice. All right, I'm going to open the boot now and show you guys inside. So it's a nice soft opening like that, hydraulic again. Brought my trusty tape measure today to give you an idea of how big the boot size is. So shout out to now defunct Masters, still got their tape measure. So with the seats still up, I'm measuring here 105 centimeters or 41 inches lengthwise, and then across here we've got 100 centimeters or 39 inches. Height-wise of the car is 75 centimeters or 29 inches. And with a Sportback version with that aerodynamic look, you do lose a bit of height as well. But that's a sacrifice you make. There's a parcel shelf as well up here. You can actually take this out if you want to as well. And you can soft close it like that. It's an automatic close. So if I press that button up here, yeah, so you see that last bit, that soft closes. So I'll open it back up again one more time. You can actually lock the car from the back as well, so there's a lock button too. So once you put your groceries in there, press the lock button, it'll shut the boot, and then it'll lock the car, which is quite nice. Back inside the boot here, a couple of cubby holes. So there's one here, Audi have included a first aid kit, which I won't go through. There's a 12 volt cigarette lighter electrical outlet here, and then on this side another cubby. There's some netting which you can use instead of the parcel shelf, I guess, if you want to secure things. This one is a high-vis vest, I guess, if you break down. Now I'm going to look underneath this tray, and ta-da, there's something else here. Let's have a look. So inside there is actually a half-size tyre in case you break down. I'm not sure what that is. That's a little storage cubby inside as well, which you can lift out. So lots of storage compartments. Okay, pop that down, and while I'm here, this comes out too, by the way. So extra room, I won't pull it out all the way. I'll go inside the car and just pull the rear seats down. So there's a 60-40 split, as well as, I'm pretty sure this comes loose, I just haven't worked out how. Yeah, so I'm sure it's a 40-20-40 split. Again, I haven't quite worked that one out. I'm sure it's not too hard. Let's come around this side now. I might close this boot now. I'll just show you the other charge port on this side while we're here. Again, another side camera. Same sort of thing. And I'll just pop this one open. This one's slightly different. All the instrumentation and the indications are all there, but on this side it's just a Type 2 charger. I'm not quite sure whether you can charge them both at the same time, but there's no DC on this side, as you can see. So I guess if you're at home, you probably use that one if you installed the charger there. Gives you the convenience of both sides. But then again, you know, most charging cables are long enough. You know, a 5-meter cable will be able to capture both, whatever side, wherever area the charge port is. So anyway, nice convenience to have. All right, I might actually go inside the second row first. Okay, so inside, I'll just start with my leg room. So I am 175 centimeters, 5'9", and there's plenty of leg room for me. This is quite a large car. And in terms of, you know, there's like easily 20 centimeters between my knees and the front seat there. And practically speaking, there's 1, 2, almost 3 fist lengths between my knees and the seat. Very comfortable, leaning back as well, very luxurious. There's a headrest as well, and you can see, you know, the glass roof there, which is very nice. This does shut. You've got to use the controls up there, which I will go through later on. And I'll just move across here. There's a bit of a hump in the middle. Again, I don't know why that's there. I mean, it's an EV, right? You shouldn't need that. Again, might be a remnant from the fossil car platform. That it's a skateboard battery design, so you know there shouldn't be a requirement for whatever through there. I might just move across here so you can see down here. There's another 12-volt electrical outlet there. A couple of USB-A charge points. It says 3 and 4, so I assume there's 2 at the front. And then from the rear, this is quite a nice option for backseat passengers. We've got aircon, HVAC. You can have an order for climate control. You can actually just turn it off from here as well. You can change what you want, you know, feet, head, feet. And then from here you can actually reduce what temperature you want. So that's quite a nice feature. A couple of aircon vents there. It's nice. And a couple of magazine racks with netting. It's quite a nice thing. I see a coat hook there. And then down here there is another aircon vent. And it's yep, symmetrical both sides as well. Just moving back to the car door, there's a powered window there. So you'd expect that, and Bang & Olufsen speakers. Very nice. Okay, well, let's hop into the driver's seat now. And Joy, why don't you go into the passenger seat? So there is a slight lag, only when I do this. Watch this. So if I shut the door, so you see that white car, it's not quite, you know, in sync with my door movement. So that is the drawback, I guess, of having a camera versus a mirror. Something to keep note of. All right, I'll jump into the driver's seat. Okay, so I won't go through too much of the screen, but we'll start with the glove box first, if you can see that, Joy. So it's just a button or latch to pull down, and inside it's, oh, that's really interesting. It's that door is massive, isn't it? And this very, very thin glove box. I'm not sure how practical that is, to be honest with you. You know, you can't exactly put something in here and then hopefully when you close it, it secures, because next time you open it, it could fall out. So yeah, I'm not very sure about that glove box design, just quietly. All right, back with this exterior. So there's a vent going that way, and then if you scroll over here for the center vents, so that vent was going that way, and then now these vent slidey things are going this way. So I don't quite understand why they slant this way, and then the driver's side is slanting the other way, which I'll come around to in a second. So yeah, whether that's a function of design or whether there's a reason for it, I'm not quite sure. There are actually 7 screens all up. So there's 1, 2, so front screen, this screen, 1 for the HVAC, 2 mirrors, so that's already 5, and then there's 1 at the back here for the aircon. So it's, okay, 6 screens altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can turn this front screen off with that button there if you don't want that there, if it's too confusing. I do go through all this in my driving video when I first picked it up. I have worked out how to look at the battery as well. So currently, you see again, I'm always thinking about where to go. You've got to go there, then you've got to go to the car, and then you've got to go to charging and efficiency, press charging. That's like 6 buttons to get to the battery level already, so yeah. And then down here, there are buttons for the radio. And then that you've actually got to press the start button to start the car down here too. There's a brake button, which again I don't like personally. I think, you know, if you press park, it should be parked in an EV. You shouldn't have to have that as well. Okay, George, you want to jump around the other side and we'll look at the driver's side from my end? So, you know, I'm again 175, 5'9", pretty good driving height, good leg room, and the steering wheel is, as you expect, fully customizable, up, down, in, out, so to your heart's content. Then you've got the camera here again, got the lock button, unlock button, all the mirrors there, you've got the child locks and the windows from there. You can set your seating position there. You can open the boot from this button. Drink holders in the side there, quite a good storage size there. So both front and back have got that. There's a latch here for the frunk. That's where I opened it before. Light switches. So you can see there, you can have the map in the middle there with where you're going. And then that's the energy, the motor regen is down here.
So are you telling me you can't actually see the battery percent when you're driving?
I haven't worked that out yet. I don't know. You can see how much range is left. I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Oh, I see. And so you could probably switch that to
yeah, again, I haven't worked that out yet.
Okay.
That's the speedometer there. That's the battery. Oh, there's a battery life down here, but it's just a graphic rather than the actual true percent. See that? In that bottom right corner of the dial. That's where I'm at, that yellow.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Then the steering wheel itself, lots more buttons. That's for the radio. There's voice command, which I tried. Can't see. You can switch between, if you press view here, I'll just show you both the screen and the steering wheel. You can actually change the view of the speedometer and the dials and how big you want the map. I've seen this in other Audis, so it's not unique to this car.
Does that red thing mean our boot is, the frunk is?
The frunk is still open, yeah, I'll go sort that out, yep. That's a good indicator there. Okay, so the cubby hole here is also very interesting. There's this funny grip thing, I don't know why that's there, it doesn't really serve any purpose. Maybe you grip that as you reverse park. That's the gear shift. You know, up park, up is reverse, down is drive, and then you press that button there to park. There's this funny like D/S. S is like sport mode if you want to go a bit faster. I've got to show you one thing too on the steering wheel. These paddles here, you obviously don't need Tiptronic paddles for an EV, but I believe they help with the regen braking. So you go down for more regen, and there's another one on the other side. That's for less regen. Yeah, don't ask me why plus is less regen and minus is more regen. That's just the way it is. So this cubby hole, last thing I want to show you. It's very strange. This it's an opening. It's like opening, and then there's like side bits for airflow. And then this bit does slide, so you shut it like that. So you can keep that private, I guess. There's a little phone holder there. You can stick your phone in that slot to keep it secure. I don't know, that might damage your phone, this thing. Anyway, that's what that's for. And then another 12-volt electrical outlet there. Yep, and then there's, if you can see that, Joy, one for a SIM card, one for an SD card, and then 2 more USB-A ports. And then last thing here is this cubby. Another cubby here. This is quite heavy, this thing. I'll just show you again. Like, oh, it requires a little bit of force to pull up. You can't fit too many things in there as well.
Did you put your sunnies?
Hmm?
It's like an odd shape where you could actually put
It's
your
very
sunnies in.
strange, yeah.
Although I suppose, would you put your sunnies in?
You might put it there. There's actually no sunnies holder. Such a luxurious car. If I just get you to pan up there, so there's some more switches here. So this allows you to open the sunroof. That one opens the sunroof, okay. Going up, and then half close, half open. Interior lighting. I'll just do that again for you. Just looking up. There you go. Yeah, a few stops there. Yep.
Can't do that in the 3.
No, that's true. SOS. I'm not going to press that. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like a service button of some sort. Ooh, they're touch lights. Yeah. So a quick knock test. Now I think these are leather wrapped panels, so it feels pretty good. Feels pretty solid. And when you're driving this car, it's pretty quiet. There's much less rattle than you would get in the Tesla Model 3 for sure. Left side indicators, so cruise control, paddle, indicator there, and the other side is for windscreen wiper. It's quite a nice door close, very heavy, as you'd expect. I quite like that. It sounds good, sounds solid. I'll shut it properly. Yeah, that's better. Alright guys, so that was my review of the Audi e-tron 55 Quattro Sportback from eb.com.au. It's quite a nice car. What I like about it is that it's got a sportback aerodynamic look. I quite like that. Of course, it's all electric, and that's fantastic. There are 2 charge ports. It's a nice, luxurious feel. And of course, if you love Audis, I think this is the car for you. If you want to switch over to electric, it's a good starting point. It's got all the Audi engineering that you'd expect, the finishing, the luxury, but it's all electric as well. So, you know, it's certainly the way of the future, and I certainly recommend you, if you want to test it out, either get a test drive or go to eb.com.au and rent it out for a few days to get a really good feel of the car like I did. And thank you again to eb.com.au for letting me have the car for the last few days. I've really enjoyed it, and thanks once again. Alright guys, well thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, really appreciate that. And of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already yet. And leave a comment below if you've had an experience with the Audi e-tron here in Australia, or anywhere else in the world for that matter. Thanks guys, stay safe, and as always, happy charging.